Right, welcome to our first video on converting units. What we have in front of us are metric units for length, for mass, how heavy things are, or how big things are. What people normally don't know is this, that 1 liter of water is the same as 1,000 milliliters, right? And at the same time, we need to say that 1 liter solid equals also to 1,000 centimeters cubed. That's one thing I need you to memorize. So 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters, and that's the same as 1,000 centimeters cubed. How do I know that? Because here, 1 milliliter is 1,000 centimeters cubed. That's what they've said here. So if I write that down, it says 1 milliliters is 1,000 centimeters cubed. Is 1 centimeters cubed. So 1 milliliter is 1 centimeters cubed. Now, which means that if I have 1,000 milliliters, that's going to be 1,000 centimeters cubed. Okay. So you need to memorize that 1 liter of water is the same as 1,000 milliliters and is the same as 1,000 centimeters cubed. This is something that students normally forget a lot. Okay, 1 ton is what 1,000 kilogram over there, and 1 gram is basically 1,000 milligram. Okay, so that's one thing you also need to remember. So 1 gram is 1,000 milligram. So don't forget that. Right. So question example 1 says find the total of 0.5 tons 31.8 kilograms and 1,700 grams and give your answer in kilogram. The first thing you need to do is to convert everything into kilograms here because that's what they're interested in. And you're going to need to use your conversion table here. Most of these will not be given an exam, so you need to memorize them. Okay, so I've got 0.2 times and I want to change to kilogram. Now, the first thing you need to do is to write the conversion. It says 1 ton here is equals to 1,000 kilogram. Here's how you need to do it. You need to say that if you're changing from 1 to 1,000, you times by this conversion. The conversion is this number here. So 1 times by 1,000 is what gives you 1,000. Now, if you're changing from kilogram back to ton, you do the same thing, but you do the opposite. So you divide by the conversion. So you divide by 1,000. So that's all you need to remember. So ton to kilogram, you times. Kilogram back to ton, you divide. And you do the same thing with all this. If you're going forward, you will times. For example, from 1 centimeters to 10 millimeters, I will times by 10. But from 10 back to 1, I will divide. So if you're going forward, you times. If you're coming back, you divide with these numbers here. Same as those ones and same as those ones. Okay. Right. So what you need to do here, I want to change from 0.2 tons. I want to change from 0.2 tons to kilogram. Now, look at the conversion. From 1 ton to 1 kilo, from 1 ton to kilogram, you go to times by 1,000. So this 0.2, you're going to times it by 1,000 because you're changing from ton to kilogram. You're going forward. Okay. Right. So if I just take this one off, we're going to be doing 0.2 times by 1,000. And you need to know that if you times it by 1,000, the decimal point is as if it moves 3 units. Okay, because times by 10, times by 100, times by 1,000. So the decimal point is here, is not here anymore. Okay. Now, so what you need to do then is to basically, I'm just going to change that sort of. So we know that it moved 3 times. So I'm just going to put that's 1, 2, 3. So the decimal point is there. Now, what you need to do is to fill that one up with zeros. Okay, so this decimal point is not there anymore, is now at the back, which means that this 0.2 tons is basically 200 kilogram. Okay, so from tons to kilograms, you times by 1,000. The second one is already kilograms, so we don't need to worry about that. The other one is grams now. Again, quickly take your conversion and write it down. The conversion for gram and kilogram, you go to the table and find it in the masses. So gram and kilogram. So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So write that one down. So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. If you change from kilo to grams, you times. But if you change it from grams back to kilo, you divide by the same conversion by 1,000. So this one now, we're changing from grams back to kilogram. So grams back to kilogram, we're going to do what? So grams back to kilogram, we're going to divide by 1,000. Okay. So I've got 1,200, 1,700. If you divide it by 1,000, the decimal point moves back 3 levels because you got 3 zeros. So it's going to go there. Okay. So the answer to this is going to be 1,000 1.7 kilogram. Okay, these zeros at the end, they don't need them. If you have decimal point in front, you can ignore them. So now what you need to do is to add 200 to that 1.8 to 1.7. You just need to add them now, and that's going to be your answer. Okay. Right. So I would like you to pause the video now, and if you try question 1 and question 2 and 3, pause the video, try question 1, 2, and 3. Okay, hope you've tried this. Right, so I'm gonna try pick questions like, for example, question I. Some of them you got to do in so many steps. You got to do in so many steps. Now we are linking kilometers to centimeters, which is quite difficult here. Okay, so what you need to do with a question like this, go to the conversion table and look at where kilometers is. They say that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Okay, but you see this one only links kilometers and meters. Now what you're going to need to do, you're going to take these meters here and see what 1 meter is in the conversion table. 1 meter is 100 centimeters there. Okay, so what you're going to need to do now, you got 1 kilometer here, and then you got 100 centimeters here. So you want to move from kilometers to meters and then to centimeters. That's what you're going to do now. So the first thing you need to do is to change these centimeters back to meters first. That's the first thing you need to do. So when you're changing centimeters back to meters, because you're starting with centimeters here, so change that to meters first, because we only have the link between meters and centimeters. Okay. Now, if you're changing back from centimeters to meters, you're going to divide by 100. Okay. So you're going to need to divide 1,005 centimeters. You divide by 100, and usually the decimal point is at the end here, and it just moves twice. So the answer to that is going to be 10.05 meters now. Okay, right. So now you've changed this 1,005 centimeters into meters. Now you can change it into kilometers. You can now change to kilometers, right? Now what are you going to say? Look for the link between meters and meters and kilometers. So you don't need this anymore, and you also don't need this anymore, right? So you got 10.05 meters. Now when you're changing meters back to kilometers, you're going to divide by 1,000. So all you need to do, you're going to divide this number by 1,000. So you're going to have 10.05. If you're dividing it by 1,000, the decimal point is going to move 3 times forward. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So that's where the decimal point is going to be. I'm just going to write that one again properly. So you got 10.05. The decimal point is going to move once, it's going to move twice, and it's going to move 3 times. So the decimal point is here. You need to fill these places up with with placeholders. So that's going to be 0 now here. Okay. Now there's 1 there, so don't forget that there's 0 there. So you can also put 0 in front here as placeholder. So I've got 0.01005 kilometers. Okay. So that's how to do that kind of a question. Now I'm going to do question J for you now as well. I'm going to do question J likewise. Okay. Right, so question J, I'm linking kilograms with milligrams, which is quite difficult. So go to where kilograms and milligrams are, which is this one here. You're going to need to do so many steps here. You're going to need to do several steps. So milligrams to kilograms. Now, the first thing I'm going to need to do, I'm going to need to change from milligrams to grams, then grams to kilograms. Okay. So changing milligrams to grams first. Let's do that first. Okay, so I've got 1 gram equals to 1,000 milligrams. So if I'm changing from milligrams to grams, I'm going to divide by 1,000. I'm going to divide by 1,000 there. Okay. So here I've got that. I need to divide that by 1,000. So that is milligrams. If you divide that by 1,000, you're going to end up with 3.023 grams. Okay. So I've divided this by 1,000 to give me that. Now I don't have milligrams. I've got grams. Now from grams, now I can then use this quickly to change it to kilogram. If you have grams and you change it to kilograms, you're going backwards, so divide by 1,000. So all I need to do now is to divide this grams by 1,000. If you're dividing by 1,000, the decimal point is going to move 3 times forward. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. So the decimal point is going to be there. Put 0 there, put 0 there, and put 0 there as placeholders, and then write it out properly. So 0.00303 kilogram. Okay, so that's how to do this kind of questions. Okay, hope that was helpful to you. What I want to do now, if you just make sure you done question 2 and you also done question 3, and I'm just going to show you the answers to that quickly. So if you just want to pause your video quickly and mark question 2 and question 3. Okay, right. So I hope that was useful to you, and that's going to be the end of our first session.